So good morning. This morning I'm up and I want to make some French toast. That's what I have a taste for. My husband wants French toast also. So I have to make mine all the way from scratch. So join me. I'm going to make my cinnamon bread, and then from there I'm going to make some French toast. Let's get started. In my refrigerator I have some cage-free 100% liquid egg whites. And I'm going to use the rest of these because I don't want these to run or anything. But these are the egg whites that I am using. These are by Kroger, and I'm going to use everything that I have in here. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this and get started. So the first thing that I'm doing is just shaking up my egg whites because I want to make sure that they're blended together like they're supposed to be. And I'm going to see how much egg white I have because I'm going to use all of this. And I'm just going to make everything else according to how much egg white that I have left. So let's see here. That there is a cup. That's about it. Just a little over a cup of egg whites. Go ahead and put this into my blender or into my mixing bowl. And I have this already set up. I just leave it set up right here because I make this bread so much. Bring this up. It's already cleaned out and everything because I knew I was going to be up making bread. First thing I'm going to do is attach this. Just pops up and on there. Trying to do all this with one hand. So you can see that's on there. Gonna go ahead and pour in 1 cup of egg whites. And I'm gonna go ahead and let this start blending because I've got to let this whip for at least close to 10 minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and put in a teaspoon of cream of tartar in this also. Once I've added in my cream of tartar, I'm gonna go ahead and put my guard on to my mixer here. I've added that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on high and let it be for 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, here I've added all my dry ingredients into a small bowl. And I've only used a 1/3 cup or a little bit over a 1/3 cup of the egg white protein powder. The egg white protein powder that I use is the MRM Nutrition egg white protein with vanilla flavor in it. That way I already have a taste in my egg protein powder. And then I just have to enhance upon that. I added in a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, a teaspoon of Swerve confectioner's sugar, 1/8 of teaspoon of active yeast, a teaspoon of xanthan gum, and a dash of salt. And I also added in a teaspoon of allulose. I'm going to mix all these ingredients together really, really good. And my egg whites have already finished, as you can see, and I have stiff that are formed. Let me take this off. And that's about all the stiff peaks I feel I'm going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my dry ingredients and make bread. Before I add in my dry ingredients, I'm going to add my shell back on. And then I can just pour it in, from the side. And that way I won't get powder all over what I have on. Let me see if I can get this on there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. I like Okay, now after this is mixed in really well, I'll make sure it's incorporated really good. I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and then I like to just mix it from the bottom to make sure that there's nothing that didn't mix up good in there. Looks like everything is mixed really well. See how good those peaks are? Okay, take this off. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray my pan with my avocado oil, and I am using silicone pans. Now you can use a regular baking pan if you like, just whatever you have to cook your bread in. I'm going to go ahead, my oven should be preheated, but it's not. I'm going to go ahead and put that on 325 right now. And I'm going to cook this for about 25 minutes, you guys. So I must be out of avocado spray. I do have some of this Healthy Shelf butter flavored no stick cooking spray. But this is what I was talking about, you guys. This has, what does it say? 0 calories, so that's good. But it also has water in it, soybean oil, propane. Oh my God, propane. Let me see if I can find my avocado oil. Hold on. Hold on now, hold on. So I found my avocado spray. 100% pure avocado oil. It doesn't have all that stuff in there. It's just avocado oil. That's why it's so good to use, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my pan. And I just put enough. Doesn't need a bunch. Just enough to cover the sides and the bottom of my pan. That's it. That's it. And that's all. I'm going to go ahead and put in my bread batter into my pan. You want to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles in this, okay? To this, I'm going to add in my brown sugars, and I am using several things here. I am using the Swerve brown sugar, and I'm also using some of the Lakanto Golden brown sugar. And I'm adding this into the container here along with cinnamon. Let me get my cinnamon. So here's my ground cinnamon. I'm going to add this into the bowl, mix them up really, really good. And I'm going to add this into my cinnamon bread, layer it through my cinnamon bread. And I like at least 3 layers. And I'm going to top it off with this cinnamon topping also. Let me go ahead and mix this up. So I have added those ingredients together in the bowl. And I'm just going to mix it together really, really, really good. Again, this is the Swerve brown sugar, the Lakanto Golden brown sugar, and cinnamon. And I'm just going to mix this really, really good. This is going to be what I use to layer my cinnamon sugar bread. Now remember, this morning I'm making French toast, and this is the bread that I want to use. So I'm just making this up and showing you how I make it. And that way, if you want to make you something that's not a lot of carbs, tastes good, then you can do this. Okay, there's my mixture there in the bowl. So I'm going to start layering my egg batter into my silicone pan along with my cinnamon sugar mix. Okay, let's get started. You can see I still got stuff in there. But first, I'm going to put in some of the batter. And you want to layer it really, really good in your pan. I want to get a good layer there going on the bottom where it's touching all the sides of the pan. And I kind of just chop mine in there, you guys, when I'm my first layer, just to make sure it gets all in the corners and everything. Now you can double up this recipe or whatever you need to do. I'm just making one little pan of the cinnamon bread, so this is all I'm putting in here. I'm going to take a little bit of this out. So make sure I have a big enough loaf here. And I'm going to go ahead and layer some of the brown sugar right in here. So just take your brown sugar, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on like this out of my bowl. Normally I use a spoon. And after you get your sugar layered in there like you want, then you add another layer of your bread batter. And you want to do this all the way to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off, and then I'll be back. Next layer, and you see I'm using a spoon for this one. But just get that like you want it. Layer it. Put the sugar, your cinnamon sugar on there. Layer it like I said, like you want it. Your next layer of bread batter's next. There's my last layer of the bread topping. I'm going to go ahead, top this, add some more of this in. And I think I'm going to swerve this in there a little bit. I'm going to put this in the oven at 325 for 25 to 30 minutes. My oldest brother, who got murdered, told me that I had he was pointing out to me at the funeral and said they were my siblings. So him and everybody, he got very close. We both having some drinks and stuff. We're kind of being flirtatious. We're going back and forth. We do the tattoos. Being flirtatious. Both of us. I have to take responsibility. How old are you? 40. So young, sir. I grew up in Detroit, and I'm proud of where I come from. It's a tough city, but there's a lot of love here. And I carry that tough love with me as a judge. And I still keep it real. Hearing real cases with real people from my courtroom in Chicago. Like I explained to her, I have a very busy schedule. I'm booked out about 6 months. I got really quickly to do the tattoo as we're tattooing. She was doing a lot of these things and all that. Every time, she would touch the tattoo while we're tattooing, I'll have to stop. Just because when you touch the tattoo as you're tattooing, it's adding bacteria to the tattoo. How many times did you have to tell her? A few times, maybe 3 or 4 times. Never told you that? No. Did you ever? And I never. Okay, this is the cinnamon bread, and it's done. I've let it sit in the oven for about 15 or 20 minutes. You can see the shrinkage that I've had. You can see it around the corners. They're really, really good. So if you can make a bigger loaf, but I'm satisfied with this. Getting ready to go ahead and take this out of the pan, slice it, and make my French toast. So this is my bread out of the oven. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, slice it, and then take a couple slices and make some French toast with it. That's what I'm going to be using. Okay, here's my bread as I'm cutting it up. You can see the slices. You can see how tender the bread is, the texture of the bread. You can see how the swirls came out, but you can actually stick a knife in there and swirl this like you want. But I'm getting ready to go ahead and make my French toast, you guys. So as you can see, I have 3 pieces of the protein sparing modified fast cinnamon bread that I have taken. I have dipped it in the egg mixture, and now I have it in the pan. This is going to be my French toast. And I just simply use some eggs with some heavy whipping cream. Dipped it in that, both sides, make sure it was coated good. Put it in my pan of butter, and I'm going to brown it really good on each side. And it may smoke a little bit, but it's okay. Here's my bread. I went ahead and cut it. It was hot when I cut it. It was still smoking, but I was ready to eat. So here's my cinnamon bread. And it comes out so good. I love the texture of it every time now that I've got my recipe like I want it. Okay, now this is the syrup that I use. I have several that I can choose from. This is the one that tastes the closest like syrup to me. So this is the one that I choose to use. I do have another syrup up here. I'm going to show it to you. But I don't like it as much because it's a lot more watery than this syrup. Let me get it real quick. And the syrup, that's the Lakanto maple flavored syrup. It's maple flavored, sweetened with monk fruit, 1 net carb, 0 sugar, keto approved, 15 calories, total carbs 9, fiber 3, so that gives 6. This one here I like better. Total carbs are 3, sugar alcohol is 2, so you're just getting 1. This is my preference. This one I have used a lot, but I'm switched over, and I love this the best. This is my husband's breakfast. He had 3 of the sausage strips, 2 pieces of French toast, and 2 poached eggs. So I'm going to add my syrup to this and 2 tablespoons right there. So this is my breakfast this morning. 1 medium egg, 3 pieces of cinnamon bread, which has been made into French toast, and 3 sausage strips. Hope you're having a good breakfast. Enjoy. I'll put my carbs and all that information here also. This is my carb manager review for this one meal today. I had 38.1 grams of protein so far with that meal, 51 grams of fat, 6.8 grams of total carbs, 641 calories total. Then also for fasting today, I did my 16 hours of fasting. This says 23 hours, but I've got to straighten that out. Also, I've had about 16 to 24 ounces of liquid so far today. Normally when I get hungry or I think I'm hungry, I'll drink me something first.